appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
What's going to happen to their headquarters?
The location doesn't hold tactical significance, so we'll simply post a small squad there, in case any stragglers choose to
I'm
return.
also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than allow it to be destroyed. We are having it brought to the Pridwin, where it will be installed in Proctor Quinlan's office.
It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology that should prove to be quite beneficial to us. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
To get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course, that's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, we're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. Here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Anyone who is engaged in such fraternization should report to Night Captain Kate for immediate decontamination.
It was a hell of a business with
That is all.
Dance. Can't even imagine having to look him in the face and pull the trigger.
Honestly, I'd prefer not to talk
I
about
hear
it.
you loud and clear, Paladin. Anyway, we need to move on to more important things now. Like getting Liberty Prime off of life support. We've been feeding him power through the Pridwin's engines, but there isn't nearly enough juice to cold start his fusion That's why we need you to find us a beryllium agitator.
And I'm betting you know right where to find it.
Of course I do. I didn't become head of ship maintenance just because of my good looks, you know? Quinlan dug up some dirt on a company called Mass Fusion. They were a power utility company before the world went belly up. The CEO was some kind of an inventor. Dreamed up all sorts of nuclear power toys. The agitator was his crown jewel. Records show he was working on it in his lab at the top of their high-rise in the financial That's where we're headed. Hope you don't mind a little company, because I'm coming with you.
You don't need her. She'll just get in the way.
It would be helpful if you tagged along.
I knew you'd see it my way. Kells has a vertibird on standby, waiting to drop us off on the roof of the mass fusion tower. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. If the Institute finds out the agitator's there, they'll do everything they can to keep it out of our hands.
Hey.
Yeah, what is it?
Hey.
You ready to talk now? I promise it won't take long.
I hope nothing's wrong.
Wrong? No, not at all. I've been waiting for the right moment to talk to you, and I suppose this is as good a time as any. After helping me get Duncan's cure for MedTech, I figured I owe you something. And I always pay my debts. I wanted you to have this. I know a carved toy soldier is a strange reward for risking your life, but this one's special. It means a lot to me.
If it's special to you, then it's a thoughtful gift.
You're
Thank
welcome. Just be sure you don't lose it. My wife Lucy gave this to me right after we met. I told her I was a soldier, and she made it bring myself to tell her the truth. That I was just a hired soldier. Story was the best thing I could come up with. I didn't want to lose her because of what I was.
I'm sure you had good intentions.
I had a feeling you'd get where I was coming from. It doesn't really matter anymore. She died a few years back. We made the mistake of holding up in a metro station one night. We didn't know that the place was infested with ferals. They were on her before I could even fire a shot. Ripped her apart right in front of me. There was nothing I had to escape with Duncan in my arms. Maybe it would have been better if we died there with her.
You may have lost your wife, but you saved your son. That counts for
Maybe.
something.
I don't know anymore. Damn, I miss Lucy. No matter how bad things got, she was always there with a shoulder to lean on. It gave me the courage I needed to press ahead. To never give up. She died. I thought that feeling was gone forever, and I met you. You have the world's problems in your back, and here you are helping me with mine. Lending me your shoulder like Lucy did. I want you to know how much your friendship means to me.
Hey man, only best friends can share feelings like that with each other.
I aim to keep it that way. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. Taking all that weight off my shoulders makes the journey a little easier, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, it's about time we got back on the road. Don't you think?
Charging into a situation, guns blazing.
Oh man, I felt wait for muscle one more time.
If we talk now?
Of course. What's up?
Look, I needed to mention, just you taking care of Bobby. I ain't proud of having to put you through that sort of dictatorial shit. Ain't usually my style.
She tried to dupe us both. Dealing with her was the right
True,
move.
but it doesn't change the fact that she's out of the picture because of us. Hell, that sort of bull's the whole reason I became mayor in the first place. Some ass named Vic ran the town for I don't know how long. Guy was Scott. Used us drifters like his own personal piggyback. He had this goon squad he'd use to keep people in line. Every so often, he'd let them off the leash, go blow off some steam on the populace. Folks with homes could lock their doors, but us drifters, we got it bad. There was one night, some drifter said something. They cracked him open like a can of cram on the pavement. And we all just stood there, did nothing.
You can't blame yourself. Sounds like you were outmatched. Probably would have killed you too.
But it was still spineless. I felt like less than nothing. Afterwards, I got so high, I blacked out completely. When I finally came to, I was on the floor of the old state house, right in front of the clothes of John Hancock. John Hancock, first American hoodlum and defender of the people. I might have still been high, but those clothes spoke to me, told me what I needed to do. I smashed the case, put him on, started as Hancock. After that, I went clean for a bit, got organized. Convinced Cleo to loan me some hardware. Got a crew of drifters together and headed out into the ruins. Started training. Next time Vic's boys went on their tear, we'd be ready for them.
The fact that you're standing here and Vic isn't would suggest things went well?
Yeah. So, the night of, we all got loaded. Let Vic's boys get good and hammered. And burst from the windows and rooftops where we'd been hiding. Never even saw it coming. We didn't have to fire a shot. We didn't have to, but we sure fucking did. It was a Once we'd mopped up, we strolled right into Vic's quarters in the State House, wrapped a rope around his neck, and threw him off the balcony. There I am, gun in hand, draped in Hancock's duds, looking at all the people of Goodneighbor assembled below. I had to say something. That first time I said them, they didn't even feel like my words. Of the people, for the people, was my inaugural address. Became Mayor Hancock of Goodneighbor that day. And from then on, I vowed I'd never stand by and watch. Ever again.
And you're never gonna have to. We'll take care of the Commonwealth together.
I just hope you get where I was coming from. I ain't out to bring harm to anyone that didn't earn it. Though I'm getting the distinct idea you got the same plan. Well, you probably heard enough of me running my mouth for one day. You wanna get moving? So, seems you know how to hold your own. I'd had my doubts when we first hit the road.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself.
I never get many complaints. It's just real rare these days. Find someone who's not willing to take things the way they're handed to them. Too many good folks not willing to get their hands dirty. And too many assholes taking advantage of it. Look at what happened in Diamond City. Before McDonough took over, it was a half-decent place to live. A little stricter than I usually go for, but not terrible. I thought he and I had a pretty happy childhood. But then he decides he's gonna try and get elected with his anti-ghoul crusade. Mankind for McDonough. Before you know it, You got families with kids lining up to drag folks they call neighbor out of their homes and throw them to the ruins.
Why did McDonough campaign against the ghouls?
Because he thought he could win. There'd always been a pretty clear divide between the folks living in the stands and those down on the field. I'm not convinced they didn't do it just to improve their view. I remember storming into his office above the stands after the inauguration speech, just standing there, staring out the window, watching as the city turned on the ghouls. He didn't even look at me. I said it, John. It's finally mine. Should have killed him right there. I don't think it would have changed anything. Instead, I pleaded with him, begged him to call it off. He said he couldn't. He had nothing against the ghouls. He was just carrying out the will of the people. And he couldn't betray the voters. And then he smiled. That hideous fucking mile-long smile. He never smiled like that when we were kids. I didn't even recognize him.
He murdered those ghouls.
Him and that whole damn city. I still wasn't a ghoul at this point, so I didn't have to leave, but I couldn't bring myself to stay in that cesspool. I've been sneaking after Good Neighbor for years to get decent chems, so I knew the safe routes. I managed to track down a couple of the families, lead them there, but most couldn't get used to the Good Neighbor lifestyle. I brought them food for a couple of weeks, but after a while, they just disappeared. Folks in Diamond City signed their death warrants. And all the good people were willing to just sit by and watch. I felt like I was the only one who saw how screwed up things truly were. Who couldn't just pretend things were Still fine. Feel that way. Or I did. Until I met you. I know I run my mouth, but having someone who sees the world for what it is, and is willing to do something about it, meant a lot to me. I feel damn lucky to have you as a friend.
I feel exactly the same, Hancock. It's been a hell of a ride thus far.
Here's to a long road. With plenty of ammo. Well, thanks for hearing me out. You probably weren't looking for a history lesson, were ya? You want to hit the road?
Roger that, Scabbard. We have clearance for release. You might want to hang on, sir. The drop can be a little rough.
Never could get used to flying in these things.
Hostile targets sighted on the roof, sir. Prepare to engage. Damn stinks are crawling all over the place. Send them out before we drop.
don't understand why you're acting this way.
Don't tell me to calm down, Carl. When we started designing the beryllium agitator, you said it would be for the benefit of mankind. Instead, I find out that you have been planning on turning it over to the military all along. You lied to me.
Don't give me that high and mighty attitude. Have you picked up a newspaper lately? There's a war going on out there, Doctor. And if our side's going to win, it needs all the help it can get.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Since when did science start taking sides? What did they promise you, Carl? Money? Political favors? A goddamn medal?
That's enough. Like it or not, when the testing cycle is completed, I'm crating up the agitator and sending it off to Washington. Now, you have two choices. Either you can get back to work, or you can get the hell out of my
Sweet, sweet. There we go. That'll do.
That's done. Power's back online.
Going down.
Attacking human. It would appear my target has appeared.
like them like that anymore.
A lot of juice.
Hey,
Just say the word.
Hancock.
You're looking a bit on edge.
Your thoughts?
You did good back there. Maxon needs to know there are some lives he doesn't get to play with.
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
Got it.
Engaging.
Take whatever you can. I'll tear you down.
Hey,
Yeah? Not an option.
over here.
Sure. Open for business.
Hey,
What you got?
move here.
I can do that.
Proctor.
Looks pretty dangerous in there. You have enough radiation protection on you?
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
Looks pretty dangerous in there. You have enough radiation protection on you?
Rad protection? Like what?
How long have you been wandering the Commonwealth again? I'm talking about the usual. RadX, Radaway, a radiation suit, things like that. You go in there without any of that stuff, and you'll be glowing like a Christmas tree in a matter of seconds. Now, do you have any or not?
Yep, I've got it covered.
Well, take these extra doses of RadX anyway. Can't hurt. You know, this was a nuclear research facility. If you look around, I'm sure you can find something that'll do the trick. Radiation levels are
Heads up.
dangerously high in there. Let me know if you need any radiation protection. I'll communicate with you through their intercom system while I monitor everything from out here.
Tank too. Someone's got to make sure our exit stays clear.
Got it. I'm through.
Powering up. Protectron on duty. Protect and serve.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
The beryllium agitator should be in a port at the top of the reactor.
The building security alert in the reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated.
I'd do the same if I was in as much trouble.
Please wait. Decontamination complete.
What you gotta?
Heads up.
What do you need?
Yes. Look alive.
Hmm?
Proctor Ingram.
Keep moving. We can't allow the Institute to get a hold of the agitator.
Look alive.
Shoot.
Hey, Hancock.
What's on your mind?
The Institute must have sent reinforcements.
Damn time.
I'll help hold them off. Just make sure you get the agitator out of here.
Ingram?